Hi there, guys. Good afternoon. We're live. Straight in the glasses. Just wait for somebody to come on. Yeah, I'm not sure these early afternoon live streams are going to prove to be very popular. I think in the past we've seen not too many people manage to come on board. I think it's an issue with potentially college, school, university, work. You know, people are still at college, school, university, and work. But for me today, it's only afternoon slot I've got. I've got to pick my kids up from school, and as well as pick my kids up from school, I've got to take them to their activities. I've got to, I've got to see my mum. So I've no idea what time I'm going to be home later. But hi, Football Blues. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Just remind me where you're from. It's always nice, to build up a picture where who people are and where they're from and what they're up to. 3 people on board already. So yeah, but I'm really quite pleased that I've managed, since setting up the new channel, I've managed to be doing at least one video every single day, live stream and videos as well. Do as much as I can. Whereabouts in London, mate? I used to live all over the shop down in and around London, living in Guildford, working there, working in Uxbridge. Lived in London, South London as well. I've been around. I'll go through the agenda. I'll give people normally 2 or 3 minutes. Northwest London. So we're talking Harrow sort of area, right? Ruislip? Just a guess. Harrow. Tell me I'm right. Well, near Harlesden. All right, that's yeah. As I said, I used to work in Uxbridge. I used to live in Hayes, West London, and so yeah, Guildford. I lived in Tooting for a while, so I've moved around. Don't need to. So we've got 4 people on. So let's talk about the agenda for today. What's on the table? We're going to talk about a slight update on the Champions League ban. It's only a rumour. There's no ban there. We're going to talk about Leroy Sane and his performance for Germany and his interview afterwards. That was last night. We'll talk about Danny Rose and the potential possibility of Danny Rose coming up to Manchester City. And we'll talk about the Premier League fixtures leak. We'll see, is there any truth in that? We'll probably find out when the actual fixtures are released tomorrow, I think that's, if I'm right. So it'll be very interesting to see whether these leaked fixtures are actually true. Can I get one more person to comment and then I can get going? Although until then, I just have some chit chat, say a few things. It's hi, True Fan City, True City fan. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. Yeah, it's at the moment. I apologise for the last couple of days. My Wi-Fi's, even though I'm paying a shed load for a super fast fibre broadband with BT, occasionally it drops. That's life, You don't want to go around criticising other people just because the Wi-Fi drops, especially if your own doesn't work all the time. There's no benefit. Why be a hypocrite? But I'll repeat this, guys. The only City YouTube channel that I know of that puts out videos every single day. Okay? And if we're going to say that, then you might as well do that. There's no point saying it and then not doing it. So as long as I can, I'll be doing it. And when I can't do a video every day, I'll stop saying I'll do a video every day. There's no need to boast about something that isn't true. True City fan, call them in and get them to check their eyes. Yeah, it's a shame that I'm doing an earlier live stream today because I've got to go and pick my kids up from school, and they've got an activity straight away. So I've got no leeway from about 3:15 till probably 6, 7 o'clock. So I might come on again later, depending on how busy we get today. I'll go through my stuff, and then, you know, it's still in those early days of finding out when is the best time, when is most appropriate, when can most people get online. So, you know, it's a suck it and see exercise. We'll see when's good. True City fan, if only there was peace between you and Steve, you two would be brilliant. That's what lacks with Man City YouTube chat. I don't think there will be because of the hypocrisy that surrounded some of the things. I'm not that fussed anymore. But I will say this. If you want to go and comment and criticize other people and their YouTube channel and their production qualities and whatever you want to criticize and their name or whatever, if you get a little bit back, if you're going to put it out there as your opinion or as banter or whatever, if you get a little bit back, don't become so precious about it. What's the point? If you're going to give it, you've got to be prepared to take it, okay? And if you're not prepared to take it, why on earth are you giving it? So even if you give a little bit, if someone gives a little bit back, don't go crying about it. Don't explode about it. And then don't go carrying on for months afterwards, still making fun of the other people, especially when they can't see it. Yeah? Must be big, must be hard, must be clever. I doubt it. So don't give it if you can't take it. And if you've given it, if you complain about somebody else's behavior, okay, and then you go ahead and do exactly the same behavior yourself, well, then you're a hypocrite. And you're actually worse than that first person. Okay, if you want to paint them in a bad light, you're worse than the first person. But hey, we all know how social media works. If you've got lots of fans, lots of staunch followers who will support you regardless of facts, the truth, regardless of whether you're reading between the lines or you've got to step back sometimes from situations and ask yourself, and the sad thing is people are just guessing reasons. They're just guessing reasons of jealousy. No, I'm sorry. I'm not really jealous. So this jealousy's not got anything to do with it. Envy, what have I got to be envious for? Yeah. There's not to be envious for other people. If other people are putting content out and making money, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It's up to them what they do. All I've ever asked for is be honest. Be honest with your followers. Don't kid them. Don't lie to them. And don't let them be abusive. You've got some control over that, and man up and take control, take accountability for what other people are saying, and just at least, like what I said the other day, please don't abuse anybody else in my name. If you're going to mention, just keep it civil. I like to generally stick to facts and decent opinion. Don't just make stuff up and say that's it. Well, hopefully, yeah, True City fan, my defender shout is now all over the Twitter. We'll see, mate. So I'll repeat the topics on the agenda for today. We're going to talk about the CL ban, Champions League ban, that's been rumoured. We'll talk about Leroy Sane, his game from last night, his performance, and what he said. Cheers, Ray. How you doing? I'm glad to see you're on. Glad to see you on. I'm glad to see you back me. But what I'll say is, I want people to back me on my integrity and some semblance of truth. Don't just blindly back people, because as some people are going to find out, it can bite you. It can hit you and bite you in the ass. So we're going to talk about the Champions League potential ban. We're going to talk about Leroy Sane. We'll talk about Danny Rose linked to Man City, and we'll talk about the Premier League Fixture League, and then bang, any questions that you guys want to pose. We'll do that. Looking to do about 15 to 20 more minutes today. I've got a lot of stuff to do for my kids, and I've got more videos to do for you guys. So I'm trying to do, squeeze as much as we can. I'll just quickly mention True City fans comment. Gundon is fabulous these days for Germany and Man City. Absolutely. And before I get into all the agenda, I'll talk about Gundogan. And because he's actually said he's happy again to play for Germany now that his own fans aren't booing him, because he really took it, he took it quite badly from his own fans because of his meeting with the Turkey president and Erdogan. Oh, I get his name right. Erdogan, can't remember. Erdogan, I think that's it. So he took a lot of stick for him meeting him. Ozil took some stick as well. In fact, Ozil's just got married, and apparently the Turkish president was his best man. So Ozil's quite linked. What's up, Jay Fresh? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? So I think the thing in Germany was these are German players playing for Germany, and they're talking about the Turkish president as being their president. Well, look, they're from Turkey. Their background is Turkish. You can't deny them their background. It's like saying, if I'm a City fan, I live in Manchester, but I'm going to go and move and work and live in Liverpool. Do I just give up on Man City and say, now I've left City, forget everything that's gone on in the past. Now I'm living in Liverpool. I'm going to support Liverpool or Everton. It doesn't work like that. People do still think about their background. And so Gundogan, and he took some stick from City fans as well. Yeah, he took a lot of undeserved stick from so-called City fans who, they're quite happy to give their own players stick. Yeah, they're quite happy to give other fans stick. Hi, Mukund, how you doing, buddy? And I'll tell you a story. When I went to a game and City fans were, first of all, they were racially abusing opposition fans. And then I had one City fan standing behind me. He racially abused another City player. He racially abused a City player. We weren't playing well. The player wasn't popular. He racially abused him. And I thought, no, that's it. We just can't accept that. I turned around, I looked the guy up and down, thought, all right, I can take him. Because, you got to look after yourself as well. But look, a lot of other, it was an away game, I'll say this, it was an away game. A lot of other City fans heard what he said. He was stood with a woman, okay, I guess his partner or girlfriend or whatever. A lot of City fans, because we were in the away end, it was a sellout. A lot of City fans heard exactly what he said, because it certainly wasn't quiet. It wasn't the fact that I got... It was very loud. Not a single person said anything, nothing at all. Okay, I turn around and I give him some stick. Okay, because it's not on. First of all, you don't go around racially abusing anyone, and you're racially abusing a City fan. And the words he used were absolutely disgusting. Okay, now I'll be honest, I suffered a bit of racial abuse as a kid, but I've never been called the words or this particular word that this chap said. Absolutely disgusting. And no one said anything. Eventually he apologized, but I gave him plenty of stick. And I think he felt he had to apologize, because I do remember taking my shirt off so he could, so I was just wearing a t-shirt, and he probably thought, it's not worth taking me on, I'm not saying I'm a big fighter or anything, but he didn't, as I said, I looked him up and down. I thought, I'll take him, no problem. And so he looked me up and down, and he apologized. But it's no good, because the damage was done. His apology was pretty much worthless. It's quite disgusting what he said, and disturbing that other fans, they weren't interested, or they didn't say anything. And the club, sadly, tried to brush that under the carpet as well. So it's what it is, sadly, that's the way where we are these days. So anyway, let's get on. Cheers, True City fan. Let's talk about this alleged Champions League ban, okay? Now, it's come out today. I was reading a report, and to tell you briefly about the Champions League ban, there isn't a Champions League ban at the moment, okay? City have had an investigation under financial fair play by UEFA, and pretty much they're looking at the settlement that they did with us in 2013 when we failed financial fair play. Some people, very expert people, have said that was because UEFA changed some of the rules at the last minute, and that caused City to fail. So now UEFA are looking back because, according to the Der Spiegel articles, City did some lying to UEFA, or alleged cooking of the books, and now UEFA want to have a look at this again. Well, to be honest, I've never thought there was a lot in it, and Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, a very eloquent, well-spoken chairman. He looks like he's ready for a fight. He's come to take UEFA on this time. We took a pinch last time. He said, we took a pinch. I really think they were very angry, wanted to go to court, but they looked at the punishment that City had agreed with UEFA, and, it's a settlement. Both parties agreed this eventually, and it wasn't. It was a small, and it ended up being a small fine and a squad punishment for the Champions League. So it wasn't massive. It wasn't, like a transfer ban or a Champions League ban or anything like that. So we took the pinch and we moved on. So now they're looking back at this. A lot of leaks. I mean, a lot of these bum journalists still refer to the Der Spiegel. That's a German newspaper that printed this originally. They still refer to the documents from City as leaked. Okay. Now, I've always said they've got to be hacked or stolen, because leaked kind of means someone just pushed. But there's apparently a lot of emails, a lot of paperwork, and I can't believe someone's leaked them. To me, it feels strongly like someone's stolen them or hacked them. And I think we need to know one way or the other, had they been leaked or actually have they been stolen? We don't know. But it was alleged by more leaks from UEFA and their council that was looking into it, that they're proposing a 12-month Champions League ban for City. Now, obviously, we don't know if that's true or not. These are all leaks. So there was a leak in the New York Times. There's been, I think, 2 or 3 other leaks as well, which is quite poor because UEFA said they're not going to talk about it. It's against their policy to talk about it. So why are they talking about it? Where are these leaks coming from? And the New York Times leak, in retrospect, does look a little bit credible, or very much a coincidence that after the leak came out, 2 or 3 days later, UEFA said something. So, but anyway, apparently, according to the Sun, I don't read the Sun. I read this in another paper who referred to the Sun. Then what City have done, they've appealed before any judgment against the due process, basically saying, UEFA haven't studied all the 100-page documents we've given them. We have not given us due process, and they want to ban us. And it's quite funny that you've got UEFA there, in effect, as the judge, jury, and prosecution, judge, and jury, and everything, and they're going to do all the punishment. It just smells as usual. This whole thing, anything to do with UEFA and FIFA as well. So the Champions League ban, what they're talking about? So apparently, this is what the Sun are claiming. A spokeswoman, so at least talking about the gender, so you can narrow it down. A spokeswoman for the adjudicatory chamber. Basically, what that means is, by appealing to CAS, it doesn't pause or stop the UEFA proceedings whilst they're waiting for the hearing or anything coming from CAS. Okay, so the UEFA can carry on with whatever they're doing, and if they want to propose a ban and put a ban on City, they can carry on and do that, irrespective of what's happening at CAS. Okay, now if there is going to be a ban for this season, they have to be very, very, very quick, because I think if I remember correctly, some of the draws that are happening is this month, end of this month or early next month, and games are starting next month. The qualifying stages of the Champions League. Some teams have to go, I think, through 3 once the Champions League has started. Ban City. A lot of people are waiting to see what happens. Some deluded Arsenal fans are hoping City get banned for this season so they can qualify. I think if City are banned, actually, Arsenal wouldn't qualify. For a start, they don't deserve to, and it'll go to another team, maybe the next one down in the ladder, rather than Arsenal. So I don't know. It's odd that more leaks or alleged leaks. But the funny thing is, okay, now this is what you got to sometimes take a lot of what you read in the papers and the media with a pinch of salt. A spokeswoman. So is that the adjudicatory chamber actually saying this? Or when people talk about a source or someone's friend said this, or is it, someone from his team or his advisors. They don't have to name anybody. And quite honestly, they can just be making stuff up because no one can prove it that they're right or wrong. And I suspect if I went out and said something and made something up about somebody, they could come and sue me. But if a newspaper does it, they talk about a source and it's in the margins again, and the clubs don't, and people don't want to push it, and they let it go. Whether it's I don't know. I mean, you'd hope it's just only missed a little bit. You only missed a little bit. I mean, basically, we talked a little bit about Gundogan and the fact he's playing really well for Germany, really well for City. Some City fans, when he came, were criticising him and booed him and whatever. Absolutely ridiculous. Sorry, Jay Fresh. It's got to be an issue with the with my Wi-Fi. As I said, I don't know what the problem is because I've got this super fast fiber from BT. Now, if I can get, because I'm using my laptop, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can at least use my mobile phone and use the 4G on my mobile phone, which is obviously is more reliable than the Wi-Fi. And I've also got Wi-Fi on the phone. I think tomorrow I'll try and do a spot tomorrow to see if that makes any difference to a live stream. If there's a problem and it continues and people are not happy and don't want to tune in because of this potential dropping on the Wi-Fi, then I might stop doing the live streams and do normal videos until I can get to 1,000 subscribers, and then I can use my mobile phone, which has proved to be very, very reliable. So USA beat Thailand in the Women's World Cup 13-0. And Germany in the qualifying stages for the Europa League, they battered Estonia 8-0. I think, Leroy scored, he set up, he was brilliant. Gundogan, there was a great pass from Gundogan over the top to Leroy out wide. Leroy controlled it, and the goalie came out and he passed it sideways and someone tapped it in. Fantastic. And Leroy scored, I remember I saw one of his goals. Very nice, cutting in from the right, popping it into the left corner. Very, very nice indeed. And it once again reaffirmed what his potential and capabilities are. He's a top player. Now, there are issues. Yeah, Muck and KDB looking good as well. Fantastic. We had good performances yesterday. We've had Bernardo Silva performing great in the Nations League. KDB playing well. Lukaku, if you saw that, miss, unbelievable. We've had Sane playing well. Gundogan playing well. It all augurs good for next season. I mean, these guys top of their game. So Sane, look, Sane's had problems at City. Okay, there's been questions about his attitude. I did a video early in the season after 4 Premier League games, and I put it on the channel today where I was chatting with a Spurs fan. I was at a TV thing, a lot of fans from different clubs there, and I was chatting with the Spurs fan, and we chatted about Leroy Sane and talking about his issues. So Leroy Sane's issues were going on last year. He had problems with his attitude, it was said. That's it, Muck, and Lukaku should just stand still so others can play the ball off him. He's just a wall pass, Lukaku. But Sane's had issues last year, okay? And I said at the time that, he's either he'd just become a new father at that time. He's only, 21, 22 years old. There's a lot of pressure on the young guy. And yes, I think the issue with his attitude was, with Germany, they said he was aloof. It was said that he doesn't chase back enough. And there was a time when we played Wigan, when Delph got sent off in the FA Cup, and Sane was substituted at our time because we needed to make a change. We needed another defender to make up for Delph being sent off, and Sane was sacrificed for that, and he was not happy. Sane was not happy at all, and Pep said, "Change your face." So Pep didn't like that. It's a team game. You've got to play for the team. You've got to play for the unit. It's not just about me. Sometimes, and like life, sometimes it's not about me. You got to think of the bigger picture, okay? You got to think of the bigger picture, and it's the team. You got to work for the team. There's no I in team. We've all heard that. No I in team. Game, and talking about how he played it. And obviously, so obviously, the question came up at Bayern Munich. Now, Bayern Munich are chasing Leroy Sane. It's very, very obvious. They're tapping him up in public. Tapping him up in public. Okay, you've had people saying, I was it Uli Horner said, City are asking for 80 million euros. It's too much to pay 80 million euros and whatever. Now, if City have had a conversation with Bayern Munich, you shouldn't be making it public. And if City haven't had a conversation with Bayern Munich about Leroy Sane or haven't given this a price, you shouldn't be quoting it. City are not going to do anything because, let's be honest, all clubs do some forms of jiggery pokery and tapping up. There's no question about it. A player, I can't remember who it was, didn't come to City last season, and he said he'd spoken to Pep. Well, that would be tapping up as well. He's spoken to Pep about it, and he respected Pep and blah, 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 but he went somewhere else. So all clubs do it. So I suspect City aren't going to do it because they're worried. If we have a go, you don't attack your own. If we have a go at that club, then somebody else will have a go at us. Hi, Cameron Dempsey. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're enjoying Julie's hat. I hope you're enjoying your Julie alien hat. That's a story I could tell about them, but I won't. All right. I'm very good at Cameron. I'm very good. I'll briefly say what I've been up to. I was actually at Barnsley Football Club today. Barnsley Football Club doing group. So I had workshops for them, working with some of their disabled fans. Very, very rewarding work. Very, very enjoyable. Spending a couple of hours with very nice adults from this disability group. A lot of fun. And hopefully I can go again and keep going. That's the kind of thing I really enjoy. So Sane, sorry to digress, but Sane said, so they asked him about, buying basically. And he was non-committal about, Bayern or City. He said, because they're asking that, he said, well, that's up to Bayern. At the end of the day, he said it's up to Bayern. He didn't come out and say, I'm a City player. I'm going to be at City next season, even though he told us that last season or whatever. He's not come out and said to the German reporters, I'm a City player. I'm going to be a City player next season. Now, it may just be he's being polite. And sometimes you've got to be polite. It absolutely just happens. Sometimes there was a story last year where someone on radio, he was in France, I can't remember who it was, but they were asked, would you like to one day play? And out of respect, he said, yeah, well, it'd be nice to play in France one day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you do it out of respect. You don't turn to your host in Paris on the radio station and say, actually, no, I don't want to come to France. I don't want to play in France. Absolutely no chance. You don't want to come across as rude. So he was polite, and then suddenly people saying, oh, no, he's going to leave. He's going to go to France. It's a load of rubbish. People just want to make a drama out of nothing. Mukun, apparently it's between the girlfriend and the mother-in-law. It could be. Nothing rude with the story with the camera. Nothing rude with that story, mate. Nothing rude with that story. But I doubt the truth will come out. That's just the way the world is, isn't it? So Mukun saying, yeah, the Leroy Sane thing. I mean, it would have been nice if Leroy had said that, but I can understand why he didn't. He's non-committal. You don't, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, Bayern Munich could come out and offer 120 million and City say, yeah, let him go. I don't know who to believe, Mukunda, whether it's his girlfriend, whether it's his mother-in-law. It's all rumours and conjecture, and we don't know. We just, we're gossiping, which we criticise other people of as well. They're gossiping. I think the difference here is we're gossiping, and they're not going to see it more than likely. I mean, I can copy Leroy Sane into one of my live stream tweets, but I don't think he's going to watch. So I think that's different. Where we're commenting, you can still say it's out of order, but I don't know. Where we're commenting where someone's not going to see it. But if you're commenting, if you're gossiping, and there's a good likelihood that the other person will see it, and you're making stuff up and putting forward it as your opinion, you know better than the newspapers. The newspapers put forward their opinion or their clickbait and say some source has said, use it as an opinion piece. Rubbish. Okay? Family is most important. Absolutely, Mukund. Absolutely. Don't worry, Cameron. It's not rude. Not rude at all. But let's just say you're lucky to get that hat. So that's Sane. It'd be nice. I want him to stay. I want Leroy Sane to stay because the guy's got the potential to be. He should be when Messi, especially when Messi and Ronaldo have gone, Sane should be one of the top 5 players in the world. Okay, you've seen his ability, his electric. Aware. I know you mentioned it before, and thanks for that. I wasn't aware that the live stream I'm doing on my laptop is causing so many problems. It's just the way it is. But at least, cheap dig here. Warning, cheap dig here. If you don't want to hear the cheap dig, fast forward 10 seconds. Cheap dig. At least my laptop is not wobbling, is it? Sorry, I'm just messing about. At least my laptop isn't wobbling. At least I can keep my laptop straight and not have to apologise about it. So Football Fan Chat, cheers, buddy. I will have a look at Streamlabs. Absolutely, Ray. It would take a lot of money. I mean, to get some of the quality we want these days, unless you're lucky in buying a cheap person coming through, like United bought with James, and it could. I'll make a note of that as well. Football Fan Chat, Google Hangouts. To be honest, guys, I want to stream on the YouTube site so I can hopefully get a few more subscribers. So a lot of money to replace that, unless you for instance, United bought that James guy from Swansea, and if he turns out to be a world beater, they're happy with their £15 million spend. If but City will probably want someone who's a little bit more proven. But hey, Sane wasn't that proven when we got him. So Sane's level, you're looking at Felix, you're looking at 70, 80, 100 million quid. So very, very expensive. I hope we can sort it out with Sane. Absolutely mucking. Sane's personal issues aren't our business, but I think, as I said in the video that I put out today already, we should, cut in some slack. I'm not going to criticize the kid. We don't know what's going on. He's still 22 years old. A couple of years into a foreign country. He's got a girlfriend. He's got a baby. He's got a mother-in-law. A lot of stuff going on. So in that young chap's head, cut him some slack. Life's just not worth it. Let's just move on. Cameron, when I seen Sane do that run, he does it like watching Ronaldo and Messi. And I was surprised after Ronaldo left. Sane is your man. Sane on form. For me, he's the most exciting player at City. You might get better results overall and performances from Sterling, but for me, Sane is clearly the most exciting player at City. When he's got the ball, I'm sitting up and taking notice. So Football Fan Chat, I tell you what, mate, you know a lot more about this this stuff than me. So I can stream from YouTube, stream on Google. I'll have a look, mate. If I can get this a little bit better, I really want to do it. Sane needs to come out and say if he wants to go. Absolutely, Paul. Sane should come and, I just don't know which way it's going to go. So, it'll just, we'll just wait and see. Football Fan Chat. I mean, I don't see the point. I've walked away. I did look the other day when someone's, a couple of people sent me messages and said, have you seen this? They talk, they're spending 10, 20 minutes talking about you and Rabin and whatever. So out of the truth, say the truth. Okay? As long as you're truthful about it, say whatever you want. And I'm not revealing anything, but I've said that to Andy in a WhatsApp message on Saturday that I sent him when he asked me, what should I tell people? I said, tell the truth. As long as you tell the truth, it's fine. Move on. If you can't tell the truth, don't say out. It's always good. So I'm not going to be watching Man City Fan TV. I've got too much to do. I really don't want to watch an hour's plus worth of live stream where most of the live stream is saying, hi guys, how you doing? I want to say hello to everybody, okay? But I want to do me stuff. Okay, Football Fan Chat, you're right, mate. Okay, tonight I will look at Streamlabs and do that. For tomorrow, fingers crossed, we'll get the Streamlab going, okay? Fingers crossed. Sorry, guys. Can only apologise. I wasn't aware that this would be an issue because this is a nice room to use in the house. And it's sadly, it's stalling a little bit. I've not had this problem. I used to do a lot of podcasts with Bolt from the Blue. So every game, just about every single game, we do a podcast. And I never had this issue. So I don't know why you're having this issue now. And it's not an issue that I can resolve because, funnily enough, I'm not a Wi-Fi expert. It's like if you say, well, my whole electricity crashed in my house. Well, that's not my fault. So if you want to blame situations and circumstances for your own problems, don't have a pop at other people. Hey mate, so me know Streamlabs, Google Hangout. I made a note, don't worry. So I'll do that, mate. Yeah, Sane's body language isn't great. His football when he's on form is fantastic. Doctori, hey Doctori, my Mogadishu massive friend. The kits to be officially released, Cameron Dempsey, I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for them. The leaks that apparently came from Ireland would kind of give you the idea that my feeling was it was possibly at a warehouse for one of the companies that supply kits around this country, quite possibly. You know, like somebody like Kit Bag or somebody else. Now, I don't know if Kit Bag do have a warehouse there. I think they've got a warehouse up near Manchester somewhere, Ashton, I think. So it could be just one of them, and they're getting ready, you know, because when the kits are released, some of the shops, I think around about the same time, they get the kits as well. So, you know, it's not as if City are going to release the kits and then a week later they're going to, you know, your Sports Directs and your Kit Bags and everybody else doesn't have any of the kits. We nearly finished. I mean, you can watch it again. Okay, it's not going to be a massively long live stream. I've got probably just a couple more minutes. I'll have a look for fans, to be honest. I'll tell you what, I'll have to speak to my son. So you want me 360p for video? I'll make a note of that. I'll have to ask one of my sons to have a look at that. Because to be honest, I haven't touched my settings since I've had this computer. I just use it as it is. So we'll wait for the kits. What's my job, Football Fan Chat? Okay, what am I... Right now, okay, I'll tell you my background. I used to be an accountant, chartered tax advisor. So I worked in the public sector, worked in hospitals, worked in a university, worked for the largest firm of accountants in the world. Then I started running my own businesses because I thought, hey, I can do better at certain things. Then I moved into recruitment, did a couple of recruitment jobs, had my own businesses for that. And then I semi-retired to France when my children were born. I wanted to take some time out and spend time with my young family. You know, we moved to France when my eldest son was two years old, and youngest was 1. He might not have even been 1. So we moved to France. And the idea was that my kids learn French. And my kids now are properly bilingual. You know, when they're in France, people think they're French. When they're in England, people think they're English. So for them, it's a fabulous thing to have, is that, that to be bilingual, properly bilingual. So we brought them back last year because we want them to now move into the English education system and improve their English as well. Because whereas their French is fantastic, you know, their French, I mean, in their school now, their French is better than the school teacher's French, okay, comfortably. But their English, their spelling and some of the grammar wasn't right. So we wanted them to catch up on that. So that's what they're actually doing. And now what I'm doing, I do a lot of, basically a lot of voluntary work. So I'm running workshops at the moment for, today I was working at a disability group in Barnsley with their charity. So that's a totally voluntary work. Yesterday I was at a special needs school, a residential school, doing workshops for the children there, basically therapy workshops. And I use soap bubbles to do with the kids and adults. Today was an adult group. They're all over 35. I'm a professional soap bubble artist. I've done that for 10 years. I've got videos if you want to see. I'm a world record holder. My kids are world record holders doing stuff with bubbles. And I am one of the top people in the world at what I do with bubbles. Just so happens, you know, my technical skill is right up there. So I work in theatres. I work in schools, science centres. I work with young children. I taught English in France when I lived there. And I use bubbles as well because it's a very good learning tool. I work with scientists. I work with scientists in France. So you're looking at the top research scientists in France and the professors from all the big universities. I do a seminar, so my alarm tells me I've got to go and get the kids. So I do a seminar with them every couple of years. And so, you know, that's top level stuff. So I work from kids who are 3, 4 years old, teaching them English and science, up to university in my pocket. You know, yesterday I was out at 7:30 in the morning. I got home at 3:30, just in time to pick my kids up. So, you know, or the no disability groups or whatever. Why do I support City in French. I lived in France. I didn't speak much French. Absolutely, Mukund. J'adore. J'adore Manchester City. J'adore. Pourquoi? Voilà. Mon cousin, il adore Manchester City. Mon cousin, je pense, il a 9 ans, 10 ans. Je don't know the past tense. J'étais 5, probablement 5 ans. Mon cousin, il adore Manchester City, et moi aussi. Okay? That's not great, but it'll do. Cheers, Mukun. Cheers. Right, I'm going to go. I'm going to give the last point. Tomorrow, I'll listen to the football fan chat and go on to either 360 or Streamlabs on my phone. Last thing I'm going to talk about, Danny Rose. Now, Danny Rose said he might have to leave Spurs. Danny Rose is quite unhappy these days. He's not really in love with football. He said he might have to leave Spurs. He's at Real Madrid. Luka Modric left Spurs, won lots of trophies at Real Madrid. But in the past, Berbatov left Spurs. Carrick left Spurs. Man United won trophies. Kyle Walker left Spurs 2 seasons ago. He's won the Premier League twice, 2 Carabao Cups, Community Shield, and an FA Cup. If we knock out the Community Shield, Kyle Walker's won 5 trophies in 2 years since leaving Spurs, and Danny Rose, nout. He's won absolutely nothing. So that's a good reason to leave. And obviously the money he's on is nothing like what he could get at City. If Danny Rose was on 120 grand a week, City would pay him 180, 200 grand a week. Makes huge difference. And it was, I mean, we're not looking for a left back, in all honesty. We've got Ben Mendy and we've got his backup, which is going to be Oleg Zinchenko. But Danny Murphy said maybe Danny Rose should be looking to try and go to City if he wants to leave Spurs. Right, football. Tomorrow we'll get some. I'll work with football fan chat and get this issue sorted. Solely teething problems, and as I always say, criticize or comment about the content. Don't say much about the production quality. And this is for external people. You know, why have a pop up the production quality when it's the content that's more important? Why shoot the messenger? Talk about the message. Guys, take it easy. If you like the video, please click like. It's always nice. If you haven't subscribed, if you can subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Tell your mates. Let's get this channel going somewhere. And cheers, Ray. Thanks very much for stopping by. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers anyway to get that live stream on YouTube the way I want to do it. I'll see what Streamlabs and Hangouts do and see if that's any good for me. But thanks, guys, and see you later. Cheers. See you, Mukund.